Women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too. And I want.
It wasn't just a game. It was a masterclass in who's really carrying women's basketball and the fallout. Let's just say Bayou Barbie is not happy, so let's get this straight. Caitlin Clark just shut it down in Iowa while Angel Reese stared at rows of empty seats in her own backyard. One came home to cheering fans, the other to crickets. Angel, while Caitlin Clark landed in Iowa and sold out 15,000 seats faster than you could type "homecoming hero" into your phone. Rhea returned to LSU with the Chicago sky for her big moment, her supposed coronation, and only 6,300 people came, which is less than half the arena's capacity. This is a reality check rather than a rivalry.
Again, the reason why we've got Hailey Van Lith up is because it was Hailey Van Lith's return as well as Angel Reese's return. Angel was not the only person. They had two players returning. However, right now in Carver, there are no tickets left for under $200. I'm actually looking. There are tickets now in the bleachers, in the very, very back seats, in the nosebleeds, for about $200. There were $400 a couple of days ago, but since Caitlin Clark it's been announced Caitlin Clark's been injured, even though she's probably going to play that game, people have been selling a few of their tickets. So Carver is completely sold out. This is what the arena looked like last night to watch LSU. They didn't open the upper bowl. They did not open the upper bowl, and the lower bowl was half empty.
Angel once claimed that she was the reason why people watched women's basketball, and for a brief moment, the media went crazy over it. The self-described Bayou Barbie strutted around as though she was Diana Taurasi's second coming, but now comes her big comeback. Her grand LSU homecoming was so lackluster that it made an open mic night at a nearby bar look amazing.
And obviously, look, the area of the crowd where the TV cameras are being shown was full, but it was under 50% capacity. There's no one in the upper bowl.
Let's discuss the facts. There was no hoopla, no sellout, no energy, just a bunch of depressing purple chairs at the Pete Maravich Assembly Center, which can accommodate over 13,000 people for Angel Rhee the prodigal daughter's comeback in sky blue LSU. It's likely that the janitors were more active than the audience.
Ideal. But I think we can finally just say it. It's like when everyone complained, about the Washington Mystics not moving Angel Reese's game to Baltimore so she can go back and play in her hometown. People are furious about that they only moved the Fever games today. But I have to say, this is
Not to mention that this wasn't just any game. It was meant to be Angel's moment. The player, who garnered media attention for her trash talk, nil deals, and fashion statements, was finally going back to the location where she had won a national title. The script essentially wrote itself, complete with lights and camera legacy. But what did we get instead? Dusty hallways, vacant seats, and cheap tickets at one point. You could count the heads in the stands more quickly than you could count Reese's missed layups, and the upper bowl was blocked off because they couldn't fill the bottom. It looked more like a failed campaign rally than a WNBA spectacle, with rows and rows of empty seats and entire sections just waiting for fans who never showed up. 15,000 yelling fans every 5 minutes. Cameras flash standing ovations. This wasn't a game. Rather, it was a cultural event marking the arrival of women's basketball. Don't tell me this is an isolated incident. There is a trend here. Every game that Caitlin Clark plays becomes a local event, and teams are actually upgrading to larger venues to accommodate the crowds she brings. Jerseys are sold out quickly. TV ratings, the media has attempted to spin it in every possible way, and people are still avoiding her despite the fact that Spike scalpers earn money on her name alone, Angel. She is also giving away tickets like Halloween candy. Let me break it down. Angel has a personality, is marketable, and is developing a brand. However, how is that brand doing when it comes time to make an appearance? In a city that she formerly owned, Angel had 6,300 fans. People still came for her. If you want raw math, Caitlyn had 15,000 in a game that doesn't even count. You may claim that Clark didn't even reach 50% of her arena Angel. The number of Caitlyn's supporters was almost 3 times that of Angel's, and they paid far more to attend. Angel's ticket dirt is inexpensive. Even at $15 on average, some were still unable to fill the space, and it wasn't just the numbers, it was the lack of energy. There was the excitement of a parent-teacher conference mixed with the atmosphere of a playoff game during Caitlyn's homecoming. While the other felt compelled to make it worse, the first felt historic. The mother of Angel, who also goes by the Namby the Way, Angel Reese entered the fray to criticize fans and reporters on the internet, responding with the well-known statement, "We celebrate championships, not ticket sales." Ma'am, this has to do with receipts, not rings. Real receipts, seating charts, ticket stubs, and pictures of empty stands. Nobody is wondering what Angel did in college. Instead, we're wondering why, now that she's in the professional ranks. In the meantime, Caitlyn Clark doesn't need to explain why people watch. The numbers and sold-out venues demonstrate this. ESPN puts her highlights in your face for a purpose because she doesn't just lip service. Her fan base evaporated like a Snapchat message. Only buckets Angel used to have millions of followers on social media, which gave her endless attention. However, this weekend, those followers weren't in the seats. You would think that someone with that kind of power could at least pack a gym where she used to dominate, but the turnout said otherwise. It's crazy, really. You have a self-proclaimed superstar who can't get her own campus to turn up, and then you have a soft-spoken assassin from Iowa who turns preseason games into standing room. Only insanity. The contrast is amusing. Angel, this isn't about disparaging Angel. Rather, it's about the facts. One is a hype machine without substance, and the other is a walking bucket with receipts. Reese arrives at a half-empty arena as though she's going to headline Coachella, while Caitlyn Clark arrives and creates a parking shortage throughout the city. Angel speaks. The fans can tell the difference when Caitlyn walks, shoots, passes, and wins. So, let's open this up. In addition to placing butts in seats, Caitlyn Clark is completely upending the WNBA's commercial paradigm. Clark is leading in all metrics that truly count, even if Reese is leading on TikTok. Income from ticket sales. TV offers products and in-person attendance. Point one is the story you have, and the other is the one that sells it. Everywhere Caitlyn Clark goes, hotels are filling up, Uber drivers are making money, and arena vendors are running out of food. Then we check in on Angel Reese, whose squad literally traveled out of its way to play at her alma mater and was hit with the kind of throng that shouts, "We've moved on." Local bars are offering specials with her jersey on the eye wall, proving that it's not just a game anymore but an event. If LSU was Angel's kingdom, they wouldn't have bothered to provide free admission and free parking. Meanwhile, Caitlyn Clark's presence alone caused opposing teams to move games, so let that sink in. They're literally scurrying to make room for her fan base, which isn't popularity, but gravitational pull. That's what happens when a player redefines what a league can be, and yet Angel continues to talk as though she's the movement, and look, no one is disputing that she had tense moments in the paw while Angel wears luxury clothes. Caitlyn shares statistics. Defenders, Caitlyn is amazing. Let's take another look at those social media accounts. Millions of people follow Angel. Enormous brand discounts. You would think she would have the kind of fan base that would flock to see her when Nike paid for a GQ story. But when it comes time to show it, when it comes to offline cricket, Caitlyn Clark doesn't require a personal hype squad because the social media excitement vanishes as soon as the scoreboard changes. The promo is her performance. No crazy interviews. Don't stare at me. Fans are there for the triumphs and viral highlights, not the gimmicks, which Instagram captions just amplify. Angel admirers may argue that it's only one game, but really, if she can't fill the arena that formed you, where are you filling? If she can't fill the game that was advertised as her homecoming, when will it happen? First, let's discuss that tour jersey that reads, "Every game is a home game." Savage, but also true. Every place Caitlyn performs turns into her home, and every arena reverberates with her name. Angel only has one house, and is still shunned by her own people, while Caitlyn has 30. What's the real problem here, then? And why does Angel continue to be pushed as the face of the W, even though she never has the audience to support a straightforward narrative? The media enjoys drama, the edge, and a player who contributes to the chaos off the court. But the real fans, the ones purchasing tickets, standing in line, and tossing jerseys on their children, want talent and authenticity, and Caitlin Clark provides both without the commotion, let alone the resale value. You could have purchased Reese's homecoming tickets, popcorn, a drink, and still had money left over, but no one seemed to care. This is a harsh reality that's not only embarrassing but also career-defining. Fever tickets are selling for hundreds or even thousands of dollars just for preseason Angels tickets. Right now, Reese is more of an influencer than an athlete, and that's okay if she leans that way. However, when you try to be the league's face and your home crowd doesn't even show up, it's over. Caitlin Clark is doing what every league hopes to do, turning preseason games into sellouts and turning highlights into brand deals. Converting skeptics into believers because she earns recognition rather than begging for it, and because people pee.